Hello, this is day number 12. In this occasion, I will talking about this book that read it, that I have read recently in the past 2 months. It is El Alquimista of Paulo Coelho. And the book starts with a guy that is like in his 20s. And this books, this book was given to me by a good friend, a very good friend. And well, the Alchemista start with I'm seeing a part that I don't remember at the beginning. Okay, it starts about a guy that lives with his family, that lives with his family in the in the Middle East, in the Middle East, and his family thought that it will be a good idea if his son dedicates to be a cleric, a clergyman, a cleric. Yes, because in the story it says that his family was very humble, and the best aspiration was to be a cleric, and go to church to to teach the word of God. So the family thought that that was the best, the highest goal that his son could. That his son could aspire to be. But the main character that was a guy wasn't was not thinking the same. His dream was to be a his dream was to be a shepherd of ships. Well, yes, a shepherd that can travel. Well, because his dream was to travel around the world and know different cities. And in their road of traveling around, specifically, I remember that was his own nation. Uh, in the middle of the road, he knows a beautiful girl he that he liked, and he started to think about what he could what he could tell to her to make an interesting talk, because well, he was traveling around the country, and only he only can see the gear once like every 6 months because he was in here in his travel, uh, walking all the time around the country. And well, then one day he he had a dream about he had a dream about something that I don't remember. um he had a dream about a treasure in somewhere else. But then, well, in his road, he meets someone tells tells him to that it was something deeper in her life. I don't remember, but then this guy get robbed. No, he sell all his chips to cross the nation that has another language, that had another language. And yes, but he needed to use a lot of money to do that. So he sold he sold all his chips, and he go into this new territory. And no, yes, because I remember that he lost all his money. He get robbed. He get robbed, and then he got desperate because he was in a strange country without money. And then he found a way to survive that night. I think with a man that chose him something. It was it was a gitana that chose to he. I think that she was the one that says to he that there was a treasure in if he followed his own path. And then yes, I think that then the guy started to follow that road, that path, and that he got into that adventure. Then the guy started to start to meet more people in the road, people that tell to them to that gives to them a clue to continue in his road and be nearest to his treasure, that it was the goal of the, well, what it wasn't the goal, it was like the end, only the end of the road. and and then and then in the last chapters he knows the alchemist. He knows the alchemist, and this special character teach to them how to talk with God. And he started to control the wines, the the soil, the yes, the wine and the soil to to show that he was a man of God, but because he was it was a it was a requirement to let this guy free, because he was a slave. He was he was incarcerated by an army in the desert, an army of the desert, and the only way he could go he could let it free, it was making a miracle, and the miracle was that special event. The miracle was to show that he was a man of God, and a man of God in the story was uh, a man very near to God that can speak with God, and that only could be demonstrated by doing that supernatural control of the elements of the environment. Well, then he did then he does that then he does that the chief of the army let him free, and he continued with his road at the end to the end of the to the end of the journey, and then the alchemist needs to say goodbye, but at the end he transformed some water. I took his water. I think it's water into gold, and gives to the guy a very big a very big a very big coin of gold. But then, that guy started walking again to strike to his goal, to because he was told that in the desert, in exactly point, it will be a treasure, and he start digging in that place, and then some thief look found it found it found him digging and digging into the soil, and they started thinking about that there was something strange there, that was something important there, and then the thieves start to they start to they start to hit the guy. They start to hit the guy to make he tell the secret that was hiding in the sand. But he tells them no. Then he tells to them that he was looking at treasure that he dreamed one night alone, one night some years ago. Then the thief said to the guy that that's the best part. Well, that's yes, that's the best part. Tells to them that he was crazy because he was following a dream. Because he, the thief, once one night in the too far in his past has a dream about a treasure that was hiding that was buried under a church, but that yes, he was one night long ago. He dreamed about a buried treasure under a church, but he never did put attention to that. And that church, what the church that was in the beginning of the story, that was the place where the guy started his road, and then he goes to that church, and effectively there was a treasure. It was very near to them all the time. Was very near to them, but he will never he will never learn to talk another language if he could if he couldn't do, if he couldn't walk around that all journey. At the end, he was in the beginning again with a material treasure, but the real treasure was the one that was hiding in all the adventure. And at the end, he got a treasure. He got a girl, another girl that he falls in love directly when he saw them, when he saw her, and he got everything. He got the status because in one in one time he saved camp a whole campament because he learned to use their intuition to interpret the signs in the skies, like animals, like birds flying in a specific way that means something, like know the meaning of specific things that happen in environment to know the future. It was like a prophet. So then, well, he saved a whole campament, and he gains like all the respect, and he got like a lot of things that he could never get if he didn't follow his own dreams. And that's the resume of the story of the alchemist of Paulo Coelho. I hope you like it. This is day number 12. Today is 8 June 18 June of 2025.